Hi everyone, I'm Valerie and I'm here with Linda Jennings from Color Storms Yarn. We're talking about Weesh. Today the chapter is Doubt Yourself. And what did you think about the chapter this week?
Well, Valerie from Knitting Fairy Godmother.
Oh.
I had fun with the assignment um, about the square share
Hmm.
because I furthered a project that I want to do. So I didn't exactly do this square share exactly, perhaps as it was intended, but I furthered my own project. So um, I just enjoyed we've been talking about the principles of this
Hmm.
chapter a lot. I've been working on um like a little musical introduction for our next book club, and
Hmm.
you were so kind in your response to me when I sent that to you. You know, it sounds like you're using what you're learning, and I feel like that's true, that the doubting of ourselves is such a good piece. And she writes, Kate Davies writes, think about it. Hope, like doubt, is a state of ambiguous uncertainty.
Hmm.
And so the more comfortable we can get with doubt and understand that that is just normal, the better.
Hmm. Yeah. As you're talking, the thing that comes up with me in my everyday life is, like sometimes I have a wild imagination and I can go into the what if train of thought and just like talk myself out of something very quickly. That's coming from a place of like fear and uncertainty and like not knowing the outcome, but coming back to the ambiguity, the uncertainty, like we really never know. And even if something catastrophic happens, or does it feel catastrophic? And then, like, for me, I need to remind myself that, like, I'm a very capable person and I can make this work. And I'm also flexible and responsive and, like, I can change and shift very easily. And where does this sense of doubt come from? Because as evidenced by the fact that I'm still alive.
I
you
really
know,
like what you said. I am a very capable woman. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves of that.
exactly.
Um, we are so capable that we can handle doubt, that it doesn't
Yes.
threaten us, that a blip in the plan is only probably going to be producing something better. Um,
And like, so what if it doesn't? I mean, like, what's the worst that can happen, I guess. And sometimes that, for me, that phrase doesn't work, but then also it can be very like grounding and just really matter of fact and like see what happens.
that sounds really good. This this project that I'm working on, I'm gonna pause here and I'll introduce it again because it really needs a photograph. Okay, here we go.
Okay, cool.
So last week I talked about a complicated project that I might have to simplify in order to bring it more success. This week I'm trying to face another complicated project to see if I can simplify it and bring success. Back in October 21, I came across this beautiful scene.
Can you lift the camera up a little? Oh, perfect. Beautiful. So it looks like trees in autumn. They're yellow, orange, and red.
right? And green.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see the green peeking through. Yes.
So yeah, actually, all right, here's the better picture. Here's the picture that I'm drawing my pattern after.
Oh, I see. Okay, so now it's a gradient of green, yellow, orange, and red. That's a beautiful image.
I found it in a parking lot, so I was so proud of myself. It wasn't like a vista, it was like a little gem hidden away.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, Cliff took me to a yarn shop and I immediately bought this.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Of course.
So, how do you turn this into a representation of that picture?
Uh-huh.
And with the square share, I had an idea.
Okay, cool.
What if instead of trying to draw all four trees in this all at once, instead of trying to knit all four trees all at once, how about if I knit them in panels one at a time so that I'm only ever dealing with two colors going across the row?
Yeah.
So I made four square share. I made
Whoa.
four patterns that were at 28 by 36
Yeah.
row size. And
Amazing.
each one is kind of inspired by the tree from that picture.
I can see exactly the picture to the pattern. Like, that's amazing.
So the rough idea being, just a panel, four panels knit separately that you sew together, and maybe just I could decide where I want to put the trees. It's a concept of trying to dissect that complicated picture into something that could be actually achievable with knitting.
Mhm.
So we'll see where it goes, but that's what I was playing with this week as a result of that chapter.
I mean, so many possibilities. So many possibilities. And what a wonderful, like, it just feels like a natural convergence where you saw the picture. You were conscious enough to take a picture of this amazing, like, snapshot that you saw in real life. And then to go to the yarn shop and see it right there again, because those colors are exactly what the image is. And then this is just the next level of that idea or concept.
Yeah, trying to figure out how to turn that picture exactly into a scene for a sweater. I don't know. I haven't been able to move the idea forward until I thought about separating the trees out individually.
Hmm. Yeah.
Let's see. I'll keep I'll keep percolating the idea.
Such a great, interesting concept and idea. So good.
I have hope. I have doubt.
Mm.
I hope I hope but I hope that I can turn it into something nice. I doubt it's going to be soon.
You never know. Some things for me take a long time in the percolation marination stage, and then like it's just like there. I sit down to do it and it just flows because I've been thinking about it for so long.
Okay, that makes sense.
Or not. There's other things that I was cleaning out some drawers earlier and came across like stuff that didn't work. And
Good for you. I think that's
I
great.
mean,
It proves that you're trying new things.
yeah, and I'm not, what was interesting is that when I came upon these items that didn't work, I didn't have that like visceral touch something hot recoil. It was just like, oh, I tried that and look, it didn't work.
All right.
But it can still exist and I'm not ready to get rid of it.
Proof that you are a capable woman.
So
Yes.
good.
Kate writes, if we become able to tolerate incertitude and conjecture, if we let go of the fear of occupying a position of negative capability, if we rather embrace the necessity of seeking, perhaps without ever finding, like you were saying,
Hmm.
um, then glimmers of light among the darkness, glimmers of light among the darkness, then we may well find that we are capable of transforming the equivocation and timidity of doubt into the courageous and always creative work of hope. That's
I feel
interesting.
like
Creative
my
work of hope.
vocabulary expands when Kate writes.
Well, just that phrase, the creative work of hope, that
Yes.
means that perhaps there's never a sweater at the end of it, but as long as you still have hope that the act of making, the act of knitting is hope because you
Hmm.
never really know for sure how something is going to turn out. So if you're
Never.
knitting, you have hope. Just, I never thought about it that way. Pick up your needles and knit. You are personification of hope.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, whenever I start a sweater or a project, I don't really know how the assigned pooling is going to turn out. I don't really know if my measurements are going to work out, even if I've made a good swatch. I don't really know if this is going to fit me. I don't know if I'm going to have enough yarn to finish it. Um, there's so many uncertainties represented with knitting. So I guess it's very courageous just to be a knitter at all, just to be knitting. You have to have courage. Or you have to love touching yarn. Really. You just have to love touching yarn. Then it never matters if you have a project at the end of it.
For me, it is definitely the process of touching, feeling, holding, making, doing. Like, I love having the thing at the end of the project, but that's not the point for me.
Okay.
I mean, really, like, knitting is my fidget spinner, and that's
So how many unfinished projects do you have? Do you have a few unfinished projects?
dozens.
I have a few.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a lot.
Oh, you have a lot. Wow.
And some of them will never be completed.
Wow.
And like what I have come to realize is that those unfinished projects, I learned what I needed to learn and then like I was done. I don't need to go back and finish it because I got what I needed to get out of what I've already done.
That's
You know,
fantastic, Valerie.
like I have a stranded sweater that will it's, traditional stranded steeked the whole thing and I learned a lot. It right now it's a tube. It will never be completed. I don't like stranded knitting. I learned what I needed to learn. I learned the technical how to strand. I learned how to pick colors. I learned so much other things and the sweater served its purpose. But I don't want to get rid of it either because it still represents like that time and those skills that I learned.
I think that's fabulous for everybody to hear. It's great for me to hear that you have, did you say dozens of unfinished projects?
Yeah.
That's great because I do focus too much on finishing things. It's important to me to finish things and I'm just gonna let that sink in that it's okay to not finish things.
I mean, For me, it's a pendulum, right? Like if the middle is completely like the midpoint, there's the unfinished side where I am at. And like for a long time, I felt really guilty about having so many unfinished things. And like now I'm moving a little bit closer to the finished, like that midpoint. And then if you have like, some people are mono project people and they only work on one thing from start to finish.
Yeah.
And if that works for them, that's a really good situation. And I think that like we can shift and move within that midpoint or pendulum.
You know, I'm always telling people as a teacher, this is your hobby.
Yes.
You can do whatever you want. You can start as many projects as you want and finish nothing. It's
Hmm.
your, you know, it's your hobby. So there should be no guilt attached to your playtime, to your something that is your reward after finishing your responsibilities, or you're handling so much in the main part of your life. The knitting is a reward. Therefore, just enjoy it in whatever way you want. But I
Yeah.
still find that it's important to me to finish things. And so I'm going to doubt myself and just hear what you're saying. And
I'm not saying that my way is the good way.
no,
I'm
or
saying
better.
that
Sure.
like this is where I am and what I've come to realize, and it will probably evolve and change. But right now, today,
Yeah. Yeah. And in all honesty, um, I can I can sometimes be proud about something and in an unhealthy way. So I'm owning that and saying, I agree with you. It is not better to always finish your projects. It is not lesser to have many unfinished projects. And I embrace that. I believe it.
I think too, it's so interesting how, we always kind of want the other thing. Anytime that there's like this duality of finished and unfinished, like we always want what we don't have.
Oh,
And I think that's, the grass is greener. Like it's just human nature that I have a lot of unfinished projects and I desire to have finished projects. And
and I have many finished projects. I desire to be not so uptight about it.
well, I mean,
Gosh, that's really good thoughts. That's really good thoughts.
it
I think,
dovetails with doubt.
yes, yes.
Hmm.
I hope you enjoyed that chapter of Doubt Yourself because we only have one left.
One chapter left.
Finish this amazing book. So we're going to start the last chapter next time. It's called Elevate.
Hmm.
Can't wait to see what it says. Have a wonderful week with your creativity. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.